Is it time to panic on Garrett Wilson, or are we going to buy this guy? Are we buying him low, or are we panicking if we have him and we sell him off for whatever we can? Is there even a trade that makes sense, even if you kind of believe he's going to get on his horse and do Garrett Wilson things? I mean, how good do these guys look at Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers every offseason? And then when they go back on the field during the regular season, obviously, I mean, I guess we don't have much to compare to from last year because Aaron Rodgers didn't play. But I just mean this guy in general goes on the field and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Yeah, JJ does it, Neighbors does it. There's not good quarterback play, and he barely scrapes by. And I'm excited about him. I really think he can be an elite player in the National Football League. But we are getting to the point where 3 weeks in, we get a touchdown out of him and we're still panicked. That is a problem. However, Aaron Rodgers did say something at the end of the game that made me feel a little bit better. But again, the highlights all preseason and offseason long should have told us a story that we're seeing develop on the field, and it hasn't. So, I mean, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers' comments are going to really make me think too much differently. But he said that, talking about Lazard and the connection they have is special. And then he ended up ending the interview on the field without being provoked or asked questions about Garrett Wilson. He said, and when Five and I get on the same page, it's going to be special, is what Aaron Rodgers said. And that was huge to hear that he's admitting they're not on the same page. He scored a touchdown and they're not on the same page. But he made it a point, without being asked about Garrett Wilson, to end the interview saying, when Five and I get on the same page, it's going to be special. That gives me hope. That gives me hope that what we see out of this kid, Garrett Wilson, right now is not what we're going to get all year long. We're going to get something much more special than that, per Aaron Rodgers' mouth. So we're going to break down this game. Jets beat the Patriots. Kind of a boring Thursday game. I've kind of made it a rule right now and moving forward that Thursday games, if you have a better option, you can't play somebody because you're excited to see him play. I mean, that's 101, but we don't follow it. No one follows it. I don't follow it. I say don't do that, right? But then I'm sitting there going, man, I got this guy playing right now. I got Garrett Wilson playing, and I've got Rashee Rice on the bench. I didn't bench Rashee Rice in any league. I'm just giving you an example. Garrett Wilson's, he's an enigma. He's an enigma, and we don't know where to rank him. We're going to do a panic chamber. Rhamondre Stevenson's also a panic, I think, at this point because of the offense. So we'll be going over both players from a panic perspective. The Fantasy Football Show reaction show, the recap show, the graveyard show, the after show of the Thursday Night Football game begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, mixed bag tonight. Aaron Rodgers looked really good. The Jets were kind of like stagnant even though they won this game, but it was kind of like, what would they have looked like against a better team? No offense to the Patriots, but this is not a good football team. So were the Jets really good tonight, or were the Jets kind of mediocre and they just looked good because of the game? I don't know. It's a good game for Aaron Rodgers to get under his belt and to go into this, week 4 with a little bit of momentum. You had Rhamondre Stevenson with a whopping 6 carries for 23 yards. And you go down to the reception department, right? You're like, okay, well, at least he caught some balls, right? No. I'm looking. DeMarco, nope. DeMario, nope. No receptions, huh? No targets. You're not getting the football to Rhamondre Stevenson at all? I don't understand that one single bit. This is the best receiving player, not running back, best receiver on the entire New England Patriot roster, and you don't give him targets, let alone receptions. This is why Rhamondre Stevenson got ripped off the Moonman list when he was on there. This is why Zamir White got ripped off the Moonman list, and he was on there. It doesn't matter how much we like the player. The situation is part of the problem, right? The situation is more than 50% of the formula. Unfortunately, but that's part of the game. And Arian Foster back in the day wasn't as good as Arian Foster produced, but his situation was gold. Was Priest Holmes ever really as good as Marshall Faulk or LaDainian Tomlinson? The answer is no. But did he produce like them? Yes, he did. Therefore, he was. Perception was reality. Priest Holmes was one of the best fantasy football running backs to ever play the game. And situation is a part of that. It is what it is. So we have to consider all those things. Even in Garrett Wilson's situation, what does the situation really look like? Is it a more beefed up version of Zach Wilson under center? I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like Garrett Wilson's still playing with Zach Wilson. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers didn't look good independently. I'm not saying that the Jets can't do well. All I know is this feels like a paper tiger win in a little way, and I don't know that we saw what we need to see out of this situation. Now, Aaron Rodgers' comments at the end of the game where he said, "Once Five and I get on the same page, it's going to be special." That encourages me for sure, but it also makes me wonder what is going on with him. Why is he not on the same page with Aaron Rodgers? Is he having a problem? Like listening to Aaron Rodgers, is he going through some of this, like, I know all this stuff already? I like Caleb Williams when Stroud tried to talk to him on the field, and Caleb's like, brushing it off when Caleb's trying to give him some good advice. And Caleb ended up clarifying, saying, I wasn't trying to little bro him. He should try and little bro him. Because this is a rookie that needs a big bro. And so when he says I wasn't trying to little bro him, he's apologizing. Everyone in the comments everywhere said, Stroud, you don't need to apologize for giving this man advice. Anyway, I'm not saying that's necessarily going on here, but I don't know what Garrett Wilson's not doing that's appeasing Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers is motivated. He's excited. He played well. And Garrett Wilson caught a touchdown. So in some ways we could say, look, is there really a lot of room to panic here? Yes and no. I think if you look deep into it and you say, okay, well, looking at the yardage here, Garrett Wilson was not 1, not 2, not 3, the 4th leading receiver in the box score. Not good. He did get 9 targets, though. So that's kind of where Aaron Rodgers might be saying, hey, maybe you're not seeing what's really going on here, Smitty and everybody. And that's what I'm trying to digest live on the show. I do this live. I don't have a script. I don't have any time to react. We go live as soon as the game goes over. So I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm saying, what's Aaron Rodgers mean? And is there something to this? And there is, though. When you see Garrett Wilson has 9 targets, led the team in targets by far, 3 more targets than Conklin, way more targets than everyone. Even Breece Hall got 5 targets. Garrett Wilson got 9. He only pulled in 5 receptions, which tied for Conklin for the most in the box score, but he only had the 33 yards. 5 for 33 and a tutty on 9 targets. So what's the problem? They're not connecting. 9 targets, 5 receptions. Not the end of the world. We've seen that happen before. 18 targets for Puka Nacua and he pulls in 12 or 11. It happens, okay? But Garrett Wilson clearly is not on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. Proof by what he said and proof by the target share. But the target share is impressive. The target share is promising. 9 targets is just fine. There's nothing wrong with this box score other than the fact that the 2 didn't connect on a couple of these and they're not on the same page. I'm mixed on this. I'm mixed on this. I don't know if he's a buy. I know he's not a sell low. I'll determine that right now. I'll determine right now that he's not a sell low. I'll determine that he's a good buy low in the right situation. He's a solid hold. Don't sell low. Buy at the right price. Am I panicked enough where I'm getting rid of him and trying to find a way out no matter what? No. So I'm going to take Garrett Wilson out and call him safe at this point. Right now,
you
at
are
least.
safe.
He's safe. Stevenson, on the other hand, is a total panic, and I don't even know if you can get rid of him at even remotely close to the price you were able to get rid of him last week, because he comes out of this game, if we go back to the box score, he comes out of this game with a whopping 23 yards, 3.8 yards a pop, and 0 targets and obviously 0 receptions. This guy scored 2.3 points in decimal scoring. 2.3 points, Rhamondre Stevenson. Unless you count, did he fumble it? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable that you don't run this man more, and that if you get behind in the game, you're not throwing the football to him. Patriots are a black hole, and unfortunately, there's no way out, at least this year. If you got fantasy football talent on this team, you're not going to see it do anything. Hunter Henry might be the only bright spot for this team, but even he had 2 for 9 tonight, which means that this guy who's ranking in the top 3 for tight ends coming into week number 3 is obviously kind of riding the, the wave, so to speak, and it's going to crash. Nothing's going to be consistent in this offense. It can't be. It can't be when you throw 12 of 18. Now, tough defense, I get it, but this should have been the day you could at least run the football. You can at least run the football. You could at least target Rhamondre Stevenson. Everybody should be in a panic. And no offense to Drake May, but he's not ready. And if he gets thrown into the game, into the lineup at some point, I don't know that he's going to have the support to look good enough for people to determine that he's got what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. And he'll be judged too early, too harshly, and it won't be fair to him. Now, some will say that happened to Mac Jones. I personally think Mac Jones was garbage. But you could make the argument that the reason Mac Jones failed is because he had no support. He had negative support. He didn't even have okay support. He had 0 support. And Drake May, if he goes out there, is going to falter. And that's why they don't put him out there. They know that. They know that. So back over to the Panic Chamber room, brought to you by the Attic.shop, by the way. If anybody doesn't know, the Attic.shop, go get your amazing Attic apparel, movies and hoodies with movies and vintage TV poster boards on them. The Attic.shop is where you go to get your stuff. Attic.shop. And then the Attic CNC. I'm sorry, the Attic NC, North Carolina. The Attic NC on Instagram if you want to check it out. But go check them out. But in the Attic panic chamber, Stevenson is a total panic and a must trade if you can even package 2 players together, Stevenson being one of them, for a Rashee Rice. I honestly would trade Stevenson straight up at this point for a handful of players that people are going to say, what? Are you out of your mind? I'd take Worthy. I'd take Xavier Worthy in a second over Rhamondre Stevenson.
You are in the panic chamber.
All right, so let's hit these super chats and open some phone lines and have some conversation. We've got several super chats in the building. Snoopy, appreciate you. Said locked my McBride and DK. Locked my McBride and DK for St. Brown and Ingram. Thanks. Okay, you locked it in. McBride and DK for St. Brown and Ingram. Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to make on both sides of that. It's very even-ish trade. Clarence, appreciate you dropping the $199 hauler. Make sure you guys put a message in the super chat. Mason and Higgins for Hall and who? Oh, is it a fleece? Mason and Higgins for Hall. I'd rather have Hall. But is it a fleece? I mean, Mason's playing out of his mind right now, but at some point you got to feel like that's going to end, right? And Higgins, I don't trust. Made a trade and it did hurt to have to throw in Dell. Sorry, my screen is shaky. I got to wait for this super chat to clear. It's all blurry for me. There it is. I made a trade and it did hurt to have to throw in Dell. Gave up Neighbors, Kincaid, Dobbins, Dell. Gave up Neighbors, Kincaid, Dobbins, Dell. That's a lot for Bijan, BT, Ladd. Neighbors, Kincaid, Dobbins, Dell. That's a lot on both sides. I guess I go toward the Bijan side, but to be honest with you, it's hard to even really dissect that. There's a lot of players involved. Neighbors, I'd rather have Bijan than Neighbors. You have BT. I'd rather have Kincaid and Dell over BT. Could very much even out, I would say. So nobody ripped anybody off, and that's just like one of those trades where everybody's like, attaboy. That's a big trade. Trade McLaurin for Dell. I take Dell in a heartbeat. I think Dell is one of the best buy lows right now. JD5, Kyron, Warren, Hill, Neighbors, Olave, Taysom. JD5, Kyron, Warren, Hill. It's a good team. I mean, Warren's rough at the running back too, my guy. I mean, I don't know what you could go get Carson Steele. You got to figure something out. If Najee goes down, he's very inefficient. Then you're in something special there potentially. Dobbins, Watson for Olave, Swift. I'd rather have Olave, Swift, but then I flip Swift immediately while you still can, because I don't think he's going to have value in a couple weeks or a month. Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, Laporta for Chase and McBride. I would take Chase and McBride for sure. B-Train to the moon. Appreciate B-Train coming in strong earlier with the Super Chats. Now with the Super Chats. Appreciate you. 12.5. Burrow, Goff, Gibbs, Ford. Okay. I need a running back too. Would you trade Waddle and Tajay for Tony Pollard? No. Tony Pollard is not proven enough to get a Waddle, in my opinion, bro. Go after an ETN or something. That's not the move at all. Clarence, appreciate you. First Super Chat in... is a normal chat. Thank you. Trade Reed Pickens for Debo, and then traded Debo and Stevenson for Tyreek and Aaron Jones. Nice job. Also traded Brock for Jamar. Wow, Jamar Chase. You traded Brock for Jamar Chase. And DJ Moore. I think you're saying DJ Moore. And then traded Keenan Allen and Amon-Ra. Keenan Allen and Amon-Ra for Rashad. Oh, Keenan Allen and Aaron Jones. I'm sorry. I thought that was Amon-Ra. Aaron Jones. So Keenan Allen and Aaron Jones for Rashad White. Now I would trade Rashad White. I would flip him. Go get Worthy. Clarence, you did good. There's some good trades. Go get Worthy, bro. On top of that. Imagine Allen featured back on Dallas. I know. Hernandez, that's why I said Allen was... When I did my January running back rankings, Allen was my number one ranked running back. Best fit for the NFL in terms of the old school NFL frame. He's an absolute monster. $20 hauler from Wave.
Too much.
Appreciate you, Wave, coming in strong. 12-man full PPR. You told me to hold on the last stream, but some feelers out. But just offered me Devontae Smith and Tank Dell for DK Metcalf, Xavier Worthy, and Lad McConkey, and Jalen Warren. Guy willing to go. Guys willing to go. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying here. Just offered my Devontae Smith and Tank Dell for DK Metcalf, Worthy, Lad McConkey, and Jalen Warren. I mean, I love Devontae Smith and Dell. I love DK and Worthy. It's pretty damn even, bro. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't love both sides. I would lean toward the DK side. Then I try to flip Lad McConkey the first chance I get. I think it's going to be an inconsistent situation. And keep in mind the Chargers played the Panthers and the Raiders, so it's going to be a tougher situation. They've also been very inefficient in a lot of numbers and statistics, but they just played two very bad teams. Targets are there. Talent is there. The connection is coming. These guys have never played with each other. And he had 80 yards today, different tune. Yes, if he had 80 yards, it'd be a different tune. E-Rock, appreciate you. I'm not panicking on Garrett Wilson. I'm merely having a conversation because I know you're all thinking it. So I worked it out live in my head, just out in front of you all. And my conclusion is that, again, not in the panic chamber, not closing the doors. We put him in there to assess it. He needed to be assessed. You know, when you bring somebody in and you're not reprimanding them, you're not firing them, you're putting them on an action plan, though. We're putting Garrett Wilson on an action plan. He could certainly get back into our good graces, but he's on an action plan for sure, and he needs to deliver. But Aaron Rodgers' words were encouraging when he said, when he was unsolicited to talk about Garrett Wilson, he said, once Five and I get on the same page, it's going to be special. I'm going to hold. I might regret it, but I'm going to hold. Will I sell if the price is right? You bet your bottom dollar I will. Give me Rashee Rice all day long over Garrett Wilson. Give me ETN if I need a running back, like something like that, sure. But am I selling low? No, I'm going to trust Aaron Rodgers is going to get him the football. He scored a touchdown today. It's encouraging. It is encouraging. Thank you for the super chat, pal. Trade Neighbors and Steele for Kyron. I take Kyron Williams probably if you need an RB at all. But if you need wide receivers, hold Steele and Neighbors. It is a solid. They're both very solid sides. I still very much love Kyron this week. I'm kind of in shock at how the whole world values Kyron right now. He scored a touchdown in both of weeks 1 and 2. His whole offense is in shambles, right? But they're going to run the ball through him. JD5 McBride for Mahomes and Kelsey. I'd take Mahomes and Kelsey and run, even though I love JD5. You guys know I love JD5. David, appreciate you dropping this here. Let's see. Offered Love and Gibbs for AR5, MHJ, and Mason. Offered Love and Gibbs for AR5, MHJ, and Mason. The AR5, MHJ, and Mason side is so loaded with talent, bro. That is a lot. I don't know that person is going to accept that. If you can get the Mason side of that, you're crushing it. That's almost like a trade I could see people vetoing, unfortunately. What can I get for Kupp and Dobbins right now? Probably you just go for like a St. Brown because you're giving both of them. You can't really ask for a St. Brown for Kupp because they're even-ish and Kupp's not playing. So you throw Dobbins in, then you can get it done. Jamar Chase, MHJ, St. Brown. Those are the moves to make for that package right there, pal. Traded Dobbins and Waddle for Waddle, Worthy for Gibbs and Stroud and BT. Give me Gibbs, Stroud, and BT pretty much all day long. Very, very interesting trade, though. Pick one in PPR, Steele, Tank Dell, or Coleman. Come on, it's Tank Dell without hesitation. That's ridiculous. Appreciate your super chat. Do I give up on DJ Moore for Worthy? Yes. Take Worthy and run. Don't just run, like sprint as fast as you can. Stevenson screwed me and played versus Hall and Wilson. Sorry, rock out. At least Wilson didn't dominate. But Stevenson's a disappointment. That whole offense is a disappointment. I don't know if Travis is in here. I hate to talk badly about the Patriots right now or Denny. But it's just it's going to be a while. Start Dak or Goff. You're going to go Dak, in my opinion. Also, what are your thoughts on long-term on Dobbins? I don't like a long-term outlook on Dobbins at all. He's one of the most injury-prone players in the National Football League. I admit I was wrong about his beginning, and we should have drafted him at his very cheap ADP to trade him. But do I think the wave will crash? Absolutely. Start, sit, Moss, Charbonnet. I'm going to go probably Charbonnet this week, but very, very close. They're both, solid. But Charbonnet, assuming he starts, and I think he will. Smitty, you called it, bud. 10 TDs. Monty roll for Braylon Allen this year. The Monty roll for Braylon Allen. I see what you're saying. How many teams would be in this? Would he be starting for right now? Like 10. Smitty making the calls, win the leagues, keep it up. Thank you, Just Jay. Sorry, I don't know why I'm having trouble seeing these super chats tonight. My screen I probably need to restart my computer. When I drag a comment on screen, it freezes. You guys don't see it, thank God, I don't think. I'm looking at the iPad to see the stream. And it goes like this and looks like this for a while. And I can kind of read it, and then it goes like that. Mahomes, Hall, Ford, MHJ, DJ Moore, Kincaid, Pickens, Terry, Javonte, Steele, Chase Brown, Benson. I feel like, that's a good team. I don't think I'm doing much. DJ Moore and Ford, DJ Moore and Pickens, DJ Moore and Steele if someone will take him. Other than that, everything but DJ Moore I want to keep and wait on, and Pickens, DJ Moore and Pickens. If you can trade both those guys for maybe a Rashee Rice, do it. If you can trade DJ Moore for Xavier Worthy straight up, do it. I'm telling you. Get Worthy before the week starts. Dynasty Superflex. Drop Herbert for Jennings. No thanks. I don't care about Juwan Jennings. He might do good this week, but he's not a long-term asset at all. Herbert not really either, though, but maybe he gets traded to Dallas or something. 8-team PPR bench, Najee, Ford, Steele. Need to drop 2 for Tank, Dell, and Mostert. Damn straight you do. So I guess I'm dropping... If you don't need Ferguson and he's a backup, you drop Ferguson And I probably drop Ford over Steele right now. Just because I don't want to miss out on... Look, Ford's already out there. He's doing good, but he's not like league winning. And I'm not saying Steele for sure will be or anything, but at least, there's the shot that he ends up being special, and I don't want to miss out on that. But that's me. You could drop Steele easily. I understand. Start 2, Zamir, Steele, Dowdle, Yoshivas, Ladd, T. Higgins, Keon. If T. Higgins is a full go, I'm okay starting T, and probably I would say, you know what? I'm going to say either Steele or Keon Coleman, but we need more information before we can lock the Steele part in, just because we need to hear some coach speak. We heard there's a audio of Steele being talked to in the locker room where he says they're gonna mix it around. So I want to hear more. Start Keon over Jennings or drop Jennings for Mitchell. I drop Jennings for Mitchell anyway. Even if Jennings has a good game, like it's temporary. I'm going Keon this week. I have faith that he's going to do it this week. I have faith that it's going to happen. AD Mitchell's also going to be very good. PPR drop Jalen Wright for Garendo. Yeah, probably drop your kicker and have both of them and try and work out a trade. I don't want you to be without Wright right now. But the thing is, you might have to go into the week anyway, so if you're low-key drop him now, it's not a bad idea then to like drop him and make a scene about it, I guess. But rate your 12-man full PPR. Squad looks pretty good. I guess I would say, your wide receivers look fantastic. Bijan Walker. You got hit hard with the Walker injury. You don't really have much, in terms of depth there. So, you don't have Charbonnet, which kind of is killing you here. I would say at the end of the day, there's not much to move. Wait on this. Let Chase go crazy. Let Chase maybe get you some trade value. I'm not saying to trade him, but there might be an opportunity for you. Neighbors or Garrett Wilson, going to go Neighbors at this point. That's not panicking. That's just being real. Trade my Smith, Monty, and Mason for AJB and Garrett Wilson. Smith, Monty, Mason. I'd probably rather have the trio because AJB's injured right now. We don't fully know what's up with that side, so give me that other side. What player should I go after with CMC and Dobbins? Bijan, Gibbs, Kyron maybe, Achan, Barkley, Jamar Chase, Lamb, Najee, and Palmer for Tank Dell. Give me Tank Dell all day long. Don't care what anybody thinks. What upgrade from White? Rashad White? Zamir White? I mean, I don't know, bro. Have Dell, Neighbors to pair. I would say if it's Rashad White, you could trade Rashad White Neighbors to get Jamar Chase, maybe St. Brown. And I don't know, Dell's not going to do anything. Just hold Dell because nobody cares about Dell right now. They think he's droppable. He's been dropped in a lot of leagues. Go look at your waiver wire. See if he's there. Lamar, Kyron, Mason, B-Rob, Jr., Cup, McBride, rest of the roster, handcuff, stand down or make a move. I'd say, it's a good squad. Maybe Brian Robinson Jr. and Godwin for one monster, bro. Or Brian Robinson Jr. and Cup for an equivalent as if Cup was healthy. And that's why you're adding the running back in to make that move. So you're going to get like St. Brown or Jamar Chase. Worthy and Waddle for Rice. I'd probably rather have Worthy and Waddle because I think Worthy's very close to Rice, and people might disagree with that, but I love both Rice and Worthy. Hang on to Braylon Allen or drop for Warren Dowdle Spears. Don't drop Braylon Allen. Didn't you watch him tonight? No. Loaded with a wide receiver. Who should I drop for a running back above? Just hang on to Braylon Allen. Yeah, there's no move here. Hang on to Braylon Allen. Don't make a move. Don't make a move. Myra, appreciate the $20 hauler. You still love Brees? Of course I do. I mean, he looked good tonight. Brees did really well. There's not his fault that the game script is a little weird. 54 yards and a tutty. Pulled in 4 for 29. That's a respectable day. So, yeah, I love Brees. I think Brees is still a monster. Now, if you could trade him for something crazy cool, I would entertain that. You could, if you could get Lamb chops, I'd take Lamb straight up over Brees probably right now. Would I trade for Gibbs and Worthy using Brees? Yeah. So like creative stuff. Yeah. Trade my Connor Debo for CD. Absolutely take CD and run from the veto police. Jennings or AD Mitchell or Downs pick 2. I'd go probably this week Jennings and AD Mitchell, but That's a close call. I don't think Jennings has long-term value. Did Dell or Diggs rest of season? You probably got to go with Diggs right now in terms of value. But do I believe at the end of the day that Dell will be better? That Diggs could get hurt? Like, yeah, I'm taking Dell if there's no value involved. Team is Gibbs, Jacobs, Jefferson, AR5, Waddle, Dell, Worthy. Who could you trade Waddle for? I'm trying to trade Waddle for St. Brown, giving up a little bit. I would trade Waddle for Rashee Rice. I would trade Waddle for Worthy and something. I'd trade Waddle for Dell and something huge, just to give you a few options. Current trade pending is JD5, Waddle, Stroud, and DJ Moore. Stroud and DJ Moore. I mean, depends who your quarterback was. You have AR5. I don't understand that. Why would you trade Waddle for Stroud when you got AR5? Am I reading that right? That would be unless it's a 2 QB, but that'd be a horrible trade if you got AR5. Thoughts on squad: Burrow, Bijan, Achane, Jamar, Tyreek, Laporta. Kicker defense. Good squad. DJ Moore and Pittman and Rashad White for one player. Just keep throwing it at the ETNs, the Rashee Rice, even a DJ Moore for Worthy straight up. Smash. Absolute smash. Herschel, appreciate you. Traded Dobbins, Waddle, Worthy for Stroud, Gibbs, and Brian Thomas Jr. I love that Stroud side. That's an absolute smash, and it makes your team a damn scary team. Damn scary team. Traded Ridley, Stevenson, and a third for London and a second. Did I get fleeced? I like London right now. Smitty, I love you. Also, should I trade Mason for Garrett Wilson? I'd probably hold Mason right now. He's got more value, and you did great on that trade. Brees, appreciate you with a super chat here. 12-man, 3-keeper, half PPR. Hall, Warren, Nico, London, Waddle, Worthy. And he moves to make maybe Waddle and Warren, or Waddle and maybe, I don't know. There's not much to move here. Charbonnet potentially could be moved, to somebody that needs an RB pretty badly. Like if you could do a Waddle and Sharbs for a St. Brown or Chase or Marvin Harrison Jr. and get that safer wide receiver by giving up the RB, that makes a lot of damn sense to me. Call into the phone line.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on Garrett Wison and Rhamondre and whether we're panicking on this guy or if we're panicking on Rhamondre. Very, very curious to know what your guys' thoughts are. If you call into the show, please keep it on that topic first before we dive into your situation, because I think these are two players that need to be discussed right now. Right here, right now. Stevenson and Garrett Wilson. And whether you have a situation where you can get rid of one or whether you're panicking like Peter to make a move away from one or potentially to run toward the Flames. Very curious to know what you guys' thoughts are. So dial in. Well, this is a good caller for it because Travis is a Patriots fan, so we'll get his honest take about what he's seeing or what he's feeling with Rhamondre. Travis.
This is a good caller because Travis is a.
Okay, Joe's got the background noise on or something. Joe, sorry, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what that was.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
So my biggest worry with Rhamondre is he's fumbled in 3 straight games. And if he has trouble holding on to the ball, that could be an issue. Now, in terms of him as a running back, I think you can look at the schedule and kind of see, if it's a really, really stout defense like the Jets, the Patriots are going to have trouble because their offensive line is awful. And so then you have a decision to make. Do you have a running back? Can you just flex him? He might be okay as a flex, but, he's more of an RB2 to a flex than a bona fide RB2 with RB1 upside until further notice.
Yeah, but the problem is, even in this situation, though, he should be getting receptions. He didn't have one target. And like that,
I don't know why that was. I don't know if that was just bad play calling or if it's just the offensive line is just so bad. They're not. I mean, if you look at it, the quarterback doesn't even have time to look at more than one read. So
Okay.
I guess you could say they need to be drawing up passes.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you, though, because I don't want to salvage this and be like, hey, this is a good game to maybe gamble on them. This is not. I don't want a player on my team that I can't start every week. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying, I think, with my panic chamber moment, and I put him in the panic chamber. I'm not sure if you saw it. I opened it. I opened it up. Let me open it up, and we slammed it shut.
You are in the panic chamber.
So my solution is package him with. You're not going to be able to trade him for whatever you want right now, because everyone's going to be reactive to it. However, when you muddy up the trade waters and you say Stevenson plus a player, then they start to release some of the obligation or risk that Stevenson brings to the table as a solo piece. And then they start going, well, now I'm playing the what if game. So would I trade DJ Moore and Stevenson for Rashee Rice? Smash.
You've just been
Like, those are the things that I'm doing. Those are the things, the movies, or St.
Yeah,
Brown or ETN. ETN's very doubted
Yeah.
right now. Stevenson and DJ Moore for ETN, smash. Like, I'm getting out of this game. Much as I like
you can
Stevenson,
upgrade for sure.
as much as I like Stevenson as a player, and as much as I liked Zamir White, and Zamir White's supposed to be getting 20 touches a game moving forward, says Antonio Pierce. So we'll see what his value. He might have a spike, and then I'm going to tell you to sell him. Because when it comes to fantasy football, there's one rule that is hard and fast, and I think it should always be considered one of the most important rules of fantasy football. Draft players on good teams. It's such a simple concept, but if the team is bad, they don't live in the red zone. If the team is bad, they don't have the opportunities. And if the team is bad, players get game scripted out, whether it's running back or wide receiver, and it happens on a rotational basis that makes the player extremely inconsistent. So that if you take any advice from me and never listen to another thing I say, well, two things: best player available, draft best player available. Second would be draft players on amazing teams. And this is not, unfortunately, and Travis, I don't think I'm offending you, it's not an amazing team right now.
No.
Could it be someday? Sure. But they throw Drake May out there, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt.
It's stupid. They'd be idiots still. I didn't even like seeing him out there at the end.
I mean, what do you do, though, if Brissett gets hurt? They're going to throw May out there, I think. I would throw out the other rookie. I'd be like, get Bo Milton out there.
Yeah, they need to either just decide to go with Joe Milton and let him get the crap kicked out of him and see what happens, or
which they won't.
They need to go and get, or if Brissett gets hurt, you stick him on IR and you sign some bum off the street and throw him in there, because that's what the situation is right now. This year doesn't matter. Like, as bad as it sounds to say that, you took May at number 3, and that's what you're building around, and that's it. So you have to do what you have to do to get him right. You can't get him hurt.
All right, Travis, hang tight real quickly. Let me get these super chats out of the way. Pollard or JK, PPR, and Hunter Henry, I believe, Josh, with your double H. I mean, you got to type it out. I don't know what you're saying. I think that's Hunter Henry over Kittle. I'm going to say, give me Kittle, or are you saying you're playing that? I don't know. Give me Kittle long term, but he is injured right now. Pollard or JK, I'm taking JK, but I am trying to trade him. I don't know if you're just saying what you're playing. Thank you for the super chat, though. Should I send Jordan Mason, Calvin Ridley for Nico? I would take Nico. He's just playing out of his mind. Nico's a player if I could go back, as much as I love Tank Dell, and I do, I think Tank Dell can still be an elite-ish player. But if I could go back, I would probably say Nico would be in my top 5 to 7 wide receivers. He looks special. He just looks special. I really like Nico right now. 14-team PPR, Rice and Pitts or Bowers and MHJ. Give me Bowers and MHJ, and it's not very close at all. Loaded at wide receiver. Should I keep Brian Thomas on the bench or drop him for a running back? These running backs aren't tickling my fancy, Esteban, so no, I'm not. I'd rather trade for an RB potentially. And Matt right here just traded more for Worthy. Feels like a bit risky. It feels like a bit risky that maybe your friend that you just traded DJ Moore to is not going to be your friend after Worthy explodes, is what I would say on that one. Worthy to the moon. And then this one right here for B for 3. Rather have Waddle and Dowdle or Godwin. Probably Godwin at this point in time, I guess. But that could change. I mean, it just feels that way right now. But that could change if Tua comes back, or it's hard to know. But this is 4 weeks we got to wait through for that. So I don't know what Waddle's going to be. Waddle's like ranking in a lot of people's like 25 to 30 overall based on some consensus data and lineup rankings and different stuff. It's like seeing 30 wide receiver 25 to 30 right now. It's crazy. 16 person PPR. Should I give Connor and Dell for Kyron and Cooper? I would take Kyron and Cooper. I'm not ready to give up on Kyron at that level at all. It's wild to me. He has 2 touchdowns in 2 games so far, and people have him. He's also very low. On Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. That link is pinned in the live chat, or it should be. Let me pin it in the live chat. I think I did. But Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. If you do a week 3 Battle Royale draft, you'll see Kyron Williams barely gets drafted out of the top 36 because it's 6 rounds. Everybody drafts 6 players. And Kyron Williams is getting drafted in that final round and sometimes is not even drafted in the top 36 players this week. It's pretty crazy to me. I know everyone's assuming that, okay, the Lions beat up bad. They've got no wide receivers, but McVay is a crafty man. And there's still a lot of opportunity for Kyron to, easily earn that value. So let me get all these super chats off the screen real quick. Yo, Smitty, 16 team Burrow, Bijan, Jacobs, Benson, Davis, Rice, Cup, Whittington, Yoshivas. Wait for Cup's return or trade. I guess I would probably wait, I guess, if I'm you, unless you get somebody that knocks down your door and says, hey, Jacobs, I'll give you ETN and Worthy. Or you could try that, go to the Worthy owner and see if there's an RB that makes sense for that. Or Rashee Rice and, a player like that. I think ETN's a good target for Jacobs if you were to try and get a receiver, but it's a tough spot to be in. Burrow is also a point of upgrade for me if I'm looking at this team. But Cup and what? Cup and what? What can you trade Cup with? Cup and Burrow for like Mahomes and something? If you could get into that, if someone's doubting Mahomes that bad and they want to wait on Cup and they're like, here, take Dell. Take Dell and go to the Dell owner, see what there is. But someone gave me a scenario where they get Dell and Mahomes for something like that. It was Cup and a quarterback. It wasn't Burrow. It was Cup and I think it was Lamar. No, Cup and Lamar for Mahomes and Dell. Like that's how you slide out of that injury of the Cup is holding you back from score. Like that's an amazing move. Trade it JD5 BT Smith Swift for JJ Worthy, Laporta, Love. I would take that side very easily, the Worthy, Laporta, Love, and JJ side. Like it's not even close, bro. That's absolutely fantastic. That's a fantastic trade. Ivan with a super chat here, 2-0. Team is Mahomes, JD5, Bijan, Jacobs, Sharbs, Warren, Sun God, Cup, Tank Dell. Should I wait on Cup or try and make some trades? Did I just read this one? I think I did, yeah. No, maybe it's different. Cup and I mean, look, I like Jacobs a lot, but would I trade Cup and Jacobs for... You don't have to do it straight up, too. You can go after Gibbs or go after Saquon or go after JT or go after Kyron, go after HN and get something else in return. It could be a 2 for 2. I'd be tempted for that. I'd also be tempted to throw Higgins and Jacobs together to get one of those RBs like Gibbs right now. Gibbs is going to explode. I'd also be very tempted to say, let's trade Higgins and Cup for a slightly better or equal player to Cup if he's healthy, but you're giving Higgins for free because of the time missed. So, St. Brown. Cup and Higgins for Rice and something. Very, very good opportunities there for you. Trade Najee and Ford for Worthy. I'd take Worthy in a millisecond. Worthy is my guy right now. Trade Cup and Dobbins for Zay. Cup and Dobbins for Zay Flowers? No. No. Cup and Dobbins for Zay Flowers? What are we doing here? 12-team half PPR. T-Law Waddle. Trade ideas might get Worthy for McLaurin. I'd love that for it. That would be amazing. Here's a Stevenson one. Stevenson and Allen for an ETN. Stevenson and Allen for a slight upgrade at somehow, some way, a running back. And if you can't do that, I don't know if you can afford to. You kind of need an RB back. That's tough. Let me pull up my rankings at thefantasyfootballshow.com and see what running backs come to mind for you that you could maybe get. Travis, what running backs come to mind? Stevenson and Waddle, or Stevenson, Keenan Allen, ETN, Kyron. Achan's going to be hard to get. JT?
I'm misreading, so I'm sorry.
That's right. Don't worry. I got it. All right, Mitchell. Appreciate you, my guy. Mitchell to the moon. Here's another one. No one in my league will give me anything elite for him. Well, you just got to throw a bunch of trades at the wall. The ones you're sending me are ones that are making you lose value. So you gotta think. You gotta send 20 offers to get one acceptance. If people say, Smitty, no one's trading in my league, and they send 3 offers, I'm laughing because you're not actually trying. Hurts, Wilson, Waddle, Zach Moss, Bucky, Dell, Higgins, Kincaid, bench. You need to get Worthy in your lineup. Worthy over Higgins, first of all. And trade Higgins. Higgins coming back. People might be excited. Higgins and Waddle, Higgins and Moss for one better player. Higgins and Wilson for one better player, like St. Brown potentially, to get out of that situation. That's what I'm doing there. Lamb for Debo and Mason. I would rather have... God, that's tough because if Debo comes back in, let's say, 2 weeks, but I don't know. I think I'd probably say give me Lamb, but wow, that's a tough one. Debo and Mason or Lamb, Travis? Debo, Mason, or Lamb? Chat, vote on that.
I like Lamb. If you have running backs, I'd take Lamb.
Yeah.
I'm not high on Debo though. I mean, now that he's hurt,
I mean, it's tough. I mean, like Jonathan, you're saying roll on the floor, laughing, whatever. The honest truth, though, Jonathan, is no one knows probably what side you're laughing on. I imagine you think that Mason, you're probably a Niner fan, Mason and Debo crush is CeeDee Lamb. I don't know what side you're on. I really have no idea. That's how close this trade is. And you think it's a rolling on the floor laughing situation when it really isn't, because no one would know. If someone said, hey, Smitty, this got vetoed, you'd be like, oh, on what side? Trade Mason and, I don't know. Here's one. Trade Mason and McLaurin for Jamar Chase. I would take Jamar Chase in a heartbeat. Tanner, to clarify, got AR5. Trade JD5 and Waddle for Stroud and DJ Moore. Why would you do that if you have AR5? I don't understand that. Tanner, I can kind of imagine you, if you're on the phone right now, saying, well, I mean, AR5 did bad. Like, well, what about a week 1 when he was a top 4 quarterback? You know, like, so no,
down on AR5.
I'd rather trade Waddle for something else, like trade Waddle and upgrade him to St. Brown in some other deal. But like the moment you get Stroud back, it's, you know, unless it's a 2 QB league, hold Waddle, no incentive for Tua. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, his value went down, but is it still above DJ Moore's? Absolutely. So you shouldn't be trying to get a quarterback back. That's like saying, hey, you know, I want to trade my motorcycle. Okay? I want to trade my motorcycle for a shaggin' wagon. Okay? But when you go to trade for the shaggin' wagon, the guy that wants to trade you wants to also give you a motorcycle back. He'll give you a smaller motorcycle, but that's going to devalue the amount of shaggin' wagon you're going to get. So now I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to trade my motorcycle because I want a shaggin' wagon. You're going to give me a crappy motorcycle and a much crappier shaggin' wagon because you're giving me something that's diluting the value of what I really want. Why are you going after a quarterback, Tanner? I'm only yelling at you just to get you to do the right thing. But you don't need a quarterback unless it's two QB, which then, of course, Hurts, Wilson, Waddle, Zach Moss, Bucky, Dell, Higgins, Worthy. I think I already did this one. You get Worthy in your lineup, trade Higgins, do it live. Appreciate you. Why does his message keep popping up? Bro, I answered you. Just kidding. It's the system. It's not you. This one here, 2-0. Hurts, Achane, Stevenson, CD, Amon-Ra, Debo, Bowers, Dell. Very good team. So you get rid of Stevenson here if possible. I don't know if this is Garrett Wilson. Who the hell is that? This is probably Zach Wilson. I don't know. I can't be Garrett Wilson on your bench. So I would say, like, in this situation, like Debo and Stevenson for a St. Well, you got St. Brown for Jamar Chase for MHJ. Like, use Debo's injury, get rid of him, but you're giving him Stevenson a RB to account for the missed games and get you your Debo replacement that's ready to go now. $20 holler from EA Goats. Appreciate you, man. Sending you to Mars for the 20.
To Mars.
You monster. Whoa, almost knocked my whole drink over. Traded Rice and Kyren for Wilson and JT. I don't know, bro. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm going to take Rice and Kyren. JT's been disappointing. Wilson's been disappointing. Rice, I love. I'm not disappointed in him at all. And Kyren, I think, will be fine. I'm not liking this trade, but I appreciate you. And it's not horrible. It's very arguable, but I'm just telling you where I lean. Tyreek, Garrett Wilson, bench, Braylon Allen. Higgins is a good trade piece here if you're able to make some sort of trade. Higgins and maybe traded Rice and Kyren. So Higgins and Wilson for Jamar Chase-like player or something like that. You say here, I think Puka and Cup and O-line will hurt Kyren and might. But you could say JT's not playing good football either, though. You know what I mean? Like, you can't cherry pick that and not cherry pick the JT situation. Love the show. Still like Dell if I have call-ins. Yeah, I still like both of them. I mean, Stroud's going to feed both of them. They might even rotate a little bit like last year. People forget how good Dell was. It's kind of wild to me. It's really wild to me. Let me go to this call and back to Travis. Michael, you are live on the show, pal.
Hey, I just had a thought on your take on Garrett Wilson. So I live in Green Bay. I'm a season ticket holder. I've seen Rodgers play hundreds of times. You're 100% right. They're just not on the same page. The West Coast offense that they run is very timing-based, and they're just not on the same page. You can see it early with Devontae Adams' career, how it took him a little while to get started. So just give him some time. He should be a breakout probably.
Yeah, the problem with that, though, is, like, there's not a lot of time. Aaron Rodgers is in his final year. Maybe he plays 2 years. It's possible. But so it's like, I don't know about long term. We can wait on this, like, rapport. I do think what I said, what I'm going to stick to, and I believe we're kind of on the same page, is that the fact that Aaron Rodgers is saying once we get on the same page, he said, and this is unsolicited, at the end of the interview on the field, they're like, how do you feel about, I think he was asked about Lazard. How do you feel about Lazard connection? And he goes, it's great. But once Five and I, and once Aaron Rodgers calls you by your number and not your name, you're in. Yeah, once Five and I get on the same page, it's going to be special. And that excites me. It excites me. I don't think we're out of the woods by that comment. I'll tell you that. But he had a touchdown tonight, and they're not on the same page. Having a touchdown, not on the same page, it excites me. Am I selling high? Yes. Am I selling medium rare? Probably. Am I selling low? Absolutely not. Am I panicked and closing the panic chamber door? No. But he got in the panic chamber tonight conversation. That's where we're at with him. He's in the conversation. But that's what I have to say. All right, anything else, Michael, before I let you jump off the phone?
That's it. I'm going to hang up. Thank you, Smitty.
All right, Michael, appreciate you. Travis, you got any comments on that? Then I'll go over to Paxton after that. Hold on, Paxton. Mute yourself if you could.
Just that with Wilson, like, I would buy low, but don't like true definition of buy low. But they could be on the same page by next game too. So
yeah, it could take a while.
These things can change fast. So it could take a while, and it could be in a game. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just have a really hard time reading it.
Yeah, I think this is something.
I want to buy them. But
yeah,
I'm not putting my starting lineup in jeopardy to buy it.
Right. I think this is something that as the hours and days leading, especially into, we have a whole week now. Like, we're not going to see any value change between now and and Sunday, next Sunday. So they have a whole weekend off and everything. I have a feeling that as we inch closer to week 4, I'll have a lot of weird ideas about buying them. I do. Otherwise, I would have, when I put him in the panic chamber, like I did Stevenson, I would have closed the doors, but I didn't. I deemed him safe. I deemed him safe. He's safe.
You are safe.
He's safe. He's not.
You are in the panic chamber.
Stevenson's not. So I have a feeling, and again, I digest this live. I'm in here, like, the game's still going on when I create the live stream. You guys are chatting. Where's Smitty? This is also funny when people say, where's Smitty? When, like, you know I'm coming. I'm literally... where's Smitty late?
Late.
Why is he late? The game ended. It's like... I'm digesting it live, and I'm telling you, I have a real good sense of when I start feeling something, I know I'm going to go that way. I have a feeling there'll be more buying opportunities than selling opportunities because of the value he has. He has a freak out Freddy value. Everyone and their mother is going to be wanting to get rid of him. They feel like 8 owners out of 10, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, raise your hand in the chat, and it's okay to admit this. 8 owners out of 10, or at least 7, that have Garrett Wilson feel like this touchdown was like almost lucky and they need to sell on it now. I almost guarantee you that's the vibe. So that will mean
that's why I want to buy him.
We maneuver into the cellar dweller pricing. Hey, I got 2 ham sandwiches instead of 1 for Garrett Wilson. What do you say we make this happen? But creative trades will get people to knee-jerk react and make a trade, like 2 for 2s, muddy up the waters, make a complicated trade. 1 for 1, people might not be as willing to part ways with them, but you do some sort of like, I'll give you DJ Moore, and I'll give you, a Charbonnet, and they're like, yeah, I'm getting 2 players there. I'll go ahead and cut bait on that. So there'll be a lot of buy them low.
What's your feeling on, like, Ridley for Garrett Wilson?
I'd rather Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
but
I think I would too.
But with this question right here, and this is complicated because the values aren't the same. Would I rather have Worthy over Garrett Wilson? Yeah, but does the market want that? No, so I'm going to get more. So if I have Garrett Wilson and I can trade him for Worthy, I'm going to be like, bro, I'm not doing that straight up, even though I would want to. Like if the market was there, I would. But I'm going to say, no, hell no. Just like I wouldn't buy a $300,000 house for $500,000 just because I know someday it'll be worth $7 million. I'm still not going to buy it at $400,000 when I can buy it for $300,000. So I'm not going to buy Worthy at Garrett Wilson's price tag if that's not what he costs. But quietly, I'm like, it's going to be the same. So I want something more. But yeah, it's tough. Let me get these Hurts and JSN for ETN. Depends on your situation, bro. I'd rather have Hurts and JSN, like, if it means I'm starting a quarterback. And don't take this the wrong way, Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr fans, but I get they're playing well. But are you really going to bank on Derek Carr for weeks 3 through 18, 3 through 17? I mean, come on. That's not a viable, smart fantasy manager move. So pick 2, BT, Dell, DJ Moore rest of season. Give me Tank Dell by a mile and give me BT. I don't trust DJ Moore. I don't trust Caleb Williams. Trust your gut, says EA Goats. I think AR's game will benefit JT. Okay. Appreciate you, pal. Here's PPR pick 2, BT, Tank, DJ Moore rest of season. All right, you just answered that one. Yeah, Tank Dell, baby. I love the Tank Dell haters. I love them. Keep it coming. Trade away Mahomes, Rice, and Gibbs and Dell for Bijan, Love, and K9. K9's a risk right now. Love's a risk right now, whether we love him or not. And Bijan, underperforming, but still love him. Mahomes, Rice, Gibbs, Dell. Give me Mahomes, Rice, Gibbs, Dell by a country mile. Like, that's probably one of the worst trades. I think this is probably one of the worst trades I've seen all day. Very bad. It's so lopsided toward the Mahomes side. If you're doing this trade, first of all, I would just lower my head and say, I'm sorry for asking. Go reject it and send him this clip at what are we at in the video? 59 minutes and 37 seconds in.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
Horrible trade offer. Horrible. Absolutely brutal. Philly, Swift on waivers. Running back Moss, Irvin, Braylon Allen, Garendo, Pacheco, Brooks. I guess the problem is, like, if you say, okay, Swift over Irvin, don't drop Braylon Allen. Don't drop Wright. Don't drop Moss because he's a starter. Irving's a backup, but he's one news clipping away of becoming a starter that's worth more than Swift. Swift is not even a starter. You know what? I'm going to say if I can trade Swift, I'd do it. If I can't trade Swift, I have no interest in having him on my roster. BJJ.
Appreciate. Is awful.
Yeah, rate this team. Allen, JD5, Achan, Walker, Mason, Sharps, Tyreek Hill, Del Jamo. I have an offer. JT London for Tyreek. I'd rather have JT London by quite a bit because you have two players that can compete in that. I'm not saying I would on any way, shape, or form or level think that Tyreek's as good as London, but is it possible? It's possible. And you got two players that can compete in that trade. That's how you do it 2-for-1. Have DK, B-Rob, Pickens, Whittington, need one flex. Mason, Rice, Swift, Hurts. What is this? Mute yourself if you could, whoever I just added. Don't mouth breathe. Have DK, B-Rob, Pickens, Whittington, need one flex. Running back, need one flex. Okay, so you have DK, B-Rob, Pickens, Whittington. From that group, DK by a mile to me. He's healthy. He got deemed healthy on the injury report. B-Rob's nice, though, but that's an easy call for me. Very, very easy call. And we got a $100 hauler from EA Goats who needs to have his name attached to a video because anybody that drops a $100 hauler or higher gets to place their name on any of the videos. 2 sponsors per video. So if they're all booked up, you can't grab one. So EA, tell me which one you want. I'm sending you to the moon.
To the moon.
To Mars.
To
Saturn.
To Mars.
EA to the moon. Can't begin to understand how hard it is to do what you do. Your commitment, your insight. Thank you, pal. Your multitasking. I'm giving you, giving you my flowers. I think you mean you're giving me my flower. I think it's how you say it. I'm giving you your flowers, but you're giving me your flowers too. So that's freaking unbelievable. I respect greatness. Thank you. Appreciate you. EA, tell me what video you want. And thanks for doubling up the flowers, pal. EA Goats. Tell me what video you want, bro. Travis, if you see what video he wants, let me know if you could. And
yeah, I'll let you know.
Oh man, I just messed up taking that off. Jake Sully, Puka plus BT or Addison for Ayuk. I guess if you need wide receiver help now, Puka's out 5 to maybe 8 weeks, maybe more. BT I like though enough. Do I say let me wait on Puka and roll with BT over Ayuk? You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna bank on BT. I'm not saying Ayuk is not gonna prove me wrong here and make me look like an idiot, but I mean Ayuk is making everyone look like an idiot right now.
Should he hold BT and do Puka and Addison for Ayuk?
I don't think they'll do that, but yeah, sure. If you can rob them on that one,
I would do that.
What's available? The only ones that are all grabbed up, I believe, are the Achan and the Coleman videos. So I think in the Supernova one, no one can be on that one. So whichever other one you want, bro, EA is yours. So just let me know. Thank you, pal. And this one from G. Dobbins, Cup, and BT for Garrett Wilson. No, look, Cup could be back in 3 weeks. Dobbins, Cup, and BT side over Garrett Wilson. You can't give up that much. That's way too much. And this one here from Man 9, 12-man 2-0, Geno Smith, ETN, Connor, Jefferson, Cup, Adams, Jamo, Mooney suggestions. I'd probably say with this team, Dino's kind of a problem here. ETN, Connor, Jefferson, Cup, Adams, J-Mo. It's a good team. Kelsey. I don't know that there's much to maneuver here. I'm trying to upgrade that QB. It's really the only thing I'm trying to do. I'd be tempted to give up J-Mo and just to get a quarterback. So you got to go to the teams that have quarterbacks, see if you can figure out a way to upgrade. Or if you're going to roll the dice with this, and let's say a Cousins is dropped. Let's say, you pick up Penix Jr. and Cousins. That's not a bad, trio. And I don't know if you even have room to do that. Maybe there's QBs on waivers. Gino looked pretty good last week, I will say. So, but J-Mo and maybe Connor for one bigger, stronger, better player. And I'm thinking JT, Kyron, Achan's going to be too tough to get. You could always try Connor and J-Mo for ETN and something. You always could potentially trade Adams for Worthy and then upgrade Connor in a 2-for-2. So I always like going to the Worthy owner to see what they have in order to downgrade my wide receiver into Worthy and then see if I can massively upgrade Connor into their, JT or whatever. Just traded Aaron Jones and JSN for Garrett Wilson. That's how you do it. That's how you buy low. That's an absolute smash. You took advantage of Grandma when Grandma saw the box score and she's like, number 5 wide receiver in yards. What is going on? Because that's what you see when he scored a touchdown. He had 9 targets, but look, he's not 1, he's not 2, he's not 3. Garrett Wilson's the number 5 wide receiver in the box score. Grandma, Aunt Edna, Uncle Bud, they don't know these things. You robbed them blind, Ricky. That's how you trade for him. That's exactly how you trade for him. And EA Goat says, give me MHJ. He wants the MHJ animation. It is yours, pal. Well, which one? I assume this one.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but starving Marvin will answer the call.
Come on, man. Pick up.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, man, it's Devontae Adams again. Call me back, bro.
In your eyes, the light that hit your eyes, complete flawless.
I kind of think that changing his number to 5 was the mistake. Why mess with anything? I don't know. I mean, not that he was doing great last year, but it's just I don't know. It's like he reset the space-time continuum. And when the time circuits get altered and the gigawatts don't match up with the component structures, you have things that go wrong. All right, let me go over to Paxton, who's been waiting about 7 days. Paxton, what can I do for you? You're live.
Hell yeah. What up? 12-man Superflex. I just traded Saquon for Kyron and DK.
Saquon for Kyron and DK.
Mm-hmm.
So you got rid of Barks. I don't like that, bro. I love it. I smash it. Smash!
Hell yeah. Well,
the thing is,
needed to hit the approval.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, is there risk involved? Absolutely. What Barkley looked fantastic in week 1. Didn't look as good in week 2, but very much could have been the savior of the game, and it could have been a very different landscape walking into week number 3 for Barkley. So we got to always keep that in mind. I say that with Tank Dell. I got to be able to say that with Barkley. However, I think this is still a good move. considering that you've got two pieces here, one of which could compete with Barkley all on his own. This guy can, would I rather have Barkley 100 times out of 100, but is there a chance that DK can hang with Barkley all year? Of course there is. Like, this guy could have 12 touchdowns from week 3 to 17. DK's a phenomenal player. So I love the diluting one player into two, and in case anything goes wrong, you're still not like down and out. Whereas Barkley's got some injury risk. You know, there's definitely a world where he's out 4 to 5 weeks, especially with what we're dealing with now. Everybody's going down. And so having two players like this is always pretty smart. But there is risk that Barkley is the number 2 or 3 or number 1 overall running back for weeks 3 through 17. I mean, there is that chance, man. He looks really good. So you just got to be understanding of that. But
yeah. All right, cool. Appreciate you.
Later, bro. This comment's odd. Smitty will not budge on his players. LOL. Kind of odd statement, Mitch. Mitch, I don't think you've been here very long, because I am a Mr. Adjust and Adapt. I'll come in here and say we're selling. As much as I love this player, we're selling. I do that all the time. I think the problem, Mitch, that you're confused about is that when I believe in a player and 2 weeks don't make me run scared to my mama, and I say, "Mama," and cry in her lap like Caleb, that you think that I'm sticking to my guns and digging my heels in. I don't dig my heels in. I've literally come in here and say JK looks good. I've come in here and said that Nico, if I could go back in time in a time machine, if I could go back into Draven's room, get in the time machine and tell Draven, in fact, let's do that. Let's get in the time machine and go tell Draven that we're making a mistake. Where is it at? Draven. I guess this is John's room now. I don't know who John is. Hey, psst, John, it's me from the future. Nico Collins is a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. Put it on your freaking calendar and draft him. It's only July. Nico. I should be Draven's room, but I think we gave up on Draven because Draven quit fantasy football. But so anyway, Mitch, I don't think you know what time it is, to be honest with you. I adjust and adapt better than anybody, but I think your confusion lies. Let's see here. Mitch says, the comment above mine called you a clown, and you called out my comment. Okay, hold on, Mitch. Hold on, Mitchie. Tyler says DK could hang with 26. DK could hang with 26. You're a clown, says Tyler. Okay. Tyler, you don't need to be here anymore. Everybody wave bye to Tyler. Tyler, you've been lame.
Get lammed.
All right. Sorry, Mitch. Hey, Mitch.
You've been lame.
Mitch, still go get Nico Collins if you're listening. All right, wait, who's talking? Moondog, what's up? You're live. Sorry, Mitch.
That's my fault. I just had to say it, man.
What'd you say?
I did a little super chat. I said you've been lammed.
You've been lammed. Now, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for a little thing. Should I trade Jordan Mason and Calvin Ridley for Nico Collins?
Mason and Ridley for Nico, yes. Didn't you send a super chat on this?
I did do that. I didn't see it. Did you send it? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I did answer it. Yes, Nico. There's arguments to be made here for sure, but the problem is I don't trust Ridley. Mason's on a potential like he's got an expiration date to some degree.
What a guy I'm going against. He's got Christian McCaffrey, so I'm trying to send him Jordan Mason and Calvin Ridley for him. For the reason being, he needs a running back, man. I got Jameson Williams sitting on the bench.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't mind trading Jameson Williams, but for this, like I mean, for something good. But this is a great trade. This is a huge upgrade, I think, in my opinion, for your roster. This is a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. Again, if I could get in a time machine and do something differently, just right now off the top of my head, it would be rank Nico higher, draft Nico more, value Nico where he deserved to be drafted. His metrics look really good. He looks fantastic. He looks dominating on the field. Doesn't mean I don't love Tank Dell. Still to the tune of a high-end wide receiver.
I got Tank Dell too.
Yeah. Go get Nico.
Right.
Go get Nico.
All right. I'm a Cowboys fan, so you know what I mean. So
yeah.
Get Lamb.
Get Lamb later.
All right, my man.
Scotty, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, how are you, sir?
I'm good, bro.
Just wanted your, hopefully, Smitty approval. I was trying to shore up my wide receiver 2 position because I've been having to rotate between London and Dell, which feels like rolling the dice right now. So I traded Josh Jacobs for Rashid Rice. So my starting lineup now is Murray, Gibbs, Kyron, St. Brown.
Say the trade one more time. And I think Tyler, just real quickly, I think Tyler wasn't calling me a clown. I'm not sure if there's just a huge, big misunderstanding from that entire sequence. I think he was calling someone else a clown. Can anybody confirm on that? Because if he was calling me a clown, we can definitely keep him banned. But I lifted it because I think he was calling someone else a clown, which is not acceptable. Tyler, don't be talking to other people like that in the chat. But if someone wants to confirm he's talking to me like that, we can give him the boot. But Tyler, behave. Okay, give me the trade one more time.
Yeah. So, trying to secure my wide receiver 2. My running backs right now are Josh Jacobs, Mason, Gibbs, and Kyron. So I took Josh Jacobs, and because I wasn't using him on my bench, and I traded him for Rashid Rice.
Jacobs for Rashid Rice. That's a tough one because I really, really like Jacobs a lot. He's a running back. Mr. TD says unban him. You let me deal with what I want to deal with, Mr. TD. I don't work for you. I work for everybody else but Mr. TD. So, Mr. TD, I'll do what I want. I think this is at the end of the day, this is going to be potentially an even trade. Problem is, I think Rice is much lower value right now than Jacobs, coming off his 154-yard game. So I think maybe you should have got a little more fair market value-wise, but I still think it's, it could work out very much in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, he was the person. I had to talk him down to Jacobs, to be honest with you, because he wanted Mason, and I feel like Mason's kind of hard to trade right now because I had Gorindo as well, just to kind of give you my perspective, Smitty. So I thought it was Eden, but I wanted to do 2 cents and make sure that I didn't screw the pooch. Because my starting lineup now, I think, is pretty much set to go.
Yeah. Travis, what do you think on that? And second of all, real quickly, a lot of people are telling me Tyler's a hater. Does anybody know?
So Tyler's he's not awful. He needs to learn to pump the brakes a little bit and chill with his whole Drake London sucks thing.
Mitch says he calls me a clown. Mitch says he calls me a clown every other. What do you say, Tyler? Tyler, here's what Mitch says. Tyler calls Smitty a clown every other day in the chat. Can I get a confirmation on this?
I don't know. I'll keep an eye out for that. But
Tyler, you got something to say about this? Put your defense on here before I toss out a verdict, because everybody's telling me that you're clowning in here.
I haven't seen him calling you a clown. I don't know about tonight. I'd have to go back and look. But he needs to chill with calling people clowns and dicks and stuff like that. So I've had to warn him before.
Tyler, you're on probation.
Yep.
Tyler, you're on probation. You have 2 months of community service. Shape up or ship out. Mr. TDs even tell you don't lie.
That's a fair verdict.
I'm going to see if anybody else has anything else to say about this. Mitch is the only witness we have in fantasy football court. So I can't determine fully what's going on here. Hold.
It's time for fantasy football. Court!
I don't know what we're determining here or not, but all I know is that if I have any more witnesses that would like to step up and step forward, I would love to hear your testimony. And don't lie in this court of law.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead, Travis.
I have a question. Maybe the chat can tell me. What did he mean when he said DK can hang with 26? Who is 26? Like what?
Barkley. Because I was saying that.
Oh, okay.
I was saying that Barkley wins. Obviously, you draft Barkley 10 times out of 10. You just do. But DK can. I said DK can hang with him.
Don't lie.
Okay, turn your. Who's it? 7. Good Lord, bro. 856. Turn down the background noise. 856. Who is this? It's got to be Tyler. He's already screwing up the call. Tyler, is this Tyler?
No, I'm sorry. I was just calling in to get some fantasy advice.
Oh, good. Get out of here. What are you doing, bro? What is he doing? What's this guy think he's doing? What are you?
Finish him.
Call
terminated.
Like the Kool-Aid man.
It's time for fantasy football.
I mean, that's like speaking out of turn in court, like contempt type stuff. That didn't bode well for Tyler. That's probably one of Tyler's family members speaking out in court. If I hear one more interruption, I'm clearing the courtroom. I don't think.
So I can clear it up right now.
Yeah.
I can clear it up right now.
Go ahead.
He would call. He was when you said DK can hang with Barkley. He said you're a clown for saying that. I mean, I'm looking at the message now, so I don't see anyone else in the chat that he could be referring to.
Well, he's got 10 seconds to report to the bench because you don't show up for court. I'll make my determination without you, Tyler. I'll make my
yourself, Tyler.
Tyler, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Oh, he just said calling in.
He said that, but 6, 5, 4. There's a YouTube delay. Let's start over. 10, 9, 8, 7. He's scrambling. He's knocking the phone over. He's knocking the missus out of bed. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This court has determined that Tyler has absolutely been hating. And unfortunately, Tyler's done. Okay, Scotty, you're live.
Well, that was fun to listen into. I don't know what I just walked into.
You walked into Judge Smitty. What's up?
So I traded Jacobs for Rasheed Rice. Before that all started, you said it was kind of even. I guess, do you feel like a solid full season move, or are you just going to kind of come out of the wash? Because doing that makes my wide receiver St. Brown and Rice for the rest of the season. It kind of gets me out of the Drake London Tank Dell scenario.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that Dell and London on your bench is going to be frustrating. Because I like Dell. I still like London a little bit. I love Rice more. I do, but.
Yeah,
I don't know.
For sure.
Here's what I'd say. this is my answer I always give when I want to tell you that I actually like the move, like quietly, but the value. This is the house example. Like if the house is $300,000, I'm not going to buy it for $400 just because I know it will be worth $500. Like in a year, I know it'll be worth $500, so I'm just going to buy it for $400,000. Like the price is $300. I'm not going to. So I feel like you're overpaying for Rice right now, given Jacobs' new value. But I would say that, like, if at the end of the day, if I'm getting on a plane and the door is closing, I'm going to take off right before this weekend's games and land in week 17. And I won't have any communication with anybody. You ask me who outscores who going forward, I would say Rice outscores Jacobs. So I'm with you. I just think that you didn't take advantage of an opportunity of maybe getting some other swap or something like that. However, it is what it is. Sometimes you can't get extra and you want to make a move. I get it. And your running backs are who? Who else do you have?
My running backs are Gibbs, Kyron, and Mason as my flex.
Gibbs, Kyron, Mason. Yeah, it's solid. I'm fine with this move. Given your lineup, given you wanted a wide receiver, I'm fine with it.
Cool. I just wanted you to, since it felt like the right move to do, because I feel like either one of them is going to get too expensive to do because it's early in the season. So I was like, I'm just going to do it now and not have to like really like pay more to get that wide receiver 2 slot fixed up. So.
All right, bro.
Okay, man.
Good job. Later, Scotty. Later. Steven from Iowa, you got 30 seconds. Scott took most of your time. Go ahead.
All right, what's up, Tony? Yeah, I'm just calling in to I got someone that's potentially trying to trade me Chase, but it probably won't happen until next week. So I'm trying to figure out what is like the cheapest route I can go to get him, you know. So I got James Cook, Jahmyr Gibbs, my starting running backs, and then my wide receivers are Neighbors, Rice, and Harrison that I'm starting. But on my bench, I've got JSN, Jameson Williams, and Xavier Worthy. So yeah, just kind of looking at what is the best like trade package.
So you got J-Mo and Worthy on the bench, and give me your lineup one more time as fast as you can.
James Cook, Gibbs, Neighbors, Rice, McBride, and Marvin Harrison.
Okay, so I don't want to trade any of those. I'm trying to trade J-Mo and Cook for like one player. I'm keeping Worthy. J-Mo and Cook for one player. Who could that be? I mean, JT, Gibbs is going to be hard to get. Kyron, you know, ETN comes to mind. St. Brown. I just throw a bunch at that and try and figure out a way to upgrade. And Cook, you know, some circles, Cook is really, really valuable. In some circles, he's not. So, throw a bunch of stuff out there and see if you can get it.
All right. Appreciate it, Smitty. Thank you.
Later, bro.
All right, later.
Travis, any final thoughts before I get to these super chats and potentially maybe take some more phone calls? I'm not sure.
Yeah, just on JSN and DK, do you think they can, I know it's probably tough to start both every week, but do you think they can survive together as like a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 option, like DK if he's the 1 and JSN the 2? They play very different roles in the offense.
They could. I guess what I feel like with DK is he's gonna be a low end wide receiver 1, but to the low end variety, like dance between that and wide receiver 2. I do believe that JSN is gonna be like this all year. He's gonna be up. He's gonna be down. He's going to be all over the place. I just think that at the end of the day, he's going to be hard to start. He kind of reminds me of last year's Ridley, where like if you kept him in all year, it's going to pay off probably. But if you keep playing matchups or he has a down game and you take him out and then he has a big game and you don't have him in, it's going to be frustrating. But I do like JSN a lot, and I think the offense is capable. I think what ends up happening with the other wide receivers in there that open up opportunity will definitely, I think, shape whether he could be consistent.
I'm just wondering, in like a PPR, do you think like JSN could? I feel like he could easily end up being like a weekly flex play just off his volume.
For sure.
Like, I know he's not going to get the targets he got last week, but
for sure.
you probably feel pretty comfortable throwing him in as a flex. Cause it
yeah.
seems like, it wouldn't make any sense for them to go back to not using him and game script them out. Or
you just got to be careful that
better than Lockett.
He'll be a little bit more inconsistent than I think people will want. So you just have to be careful.
Okay.
All right, Travis. Appreciate you, man.
All right.
Later. Sorry, sorry for all the extra work you got to do in the chat tonight, but
no, love it. Always a little court session.
All right, later. G Money with a $20 hauler to Mars.
To Mars.
Absolute straight monster. G Money, you're still here, right? Hey, Smitty, this team is 1-1, 12-team half PPR. QB Hurts, JD5, wide receivers JJ Smith, Dell, Gibbs, Warren, Wright, Benson, Garendo, Mitchell, McBride, Taysom. Should I trade Smith and JD5 for Jamar Chase? Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. It's a one QB league. I don't see Superflex anywhere. His QBs are right. Yeah. And if I need to give up something else, bro, like, hey, he wants Warren, you just do it. You just do it because that is a difference maker for you. That puts you on a whole nother level. JJ, Chase, and who's your quarterback? JJ, Chase, and Hurts. I mean, that's a wild. And McBride, and you got Gibbs. You're in a whole new category of danger for everybody else. You are the danger. You are the one who knocks at that point, bro. In the league, everyone's gonna be pissed off. Maybe they'll make fun of your running backs because they're so scared of your team or something. But Amon-Ra, Olave, MHJ, Godwin, sit one. Amon-Ra, Olave. Come on, bro. Come on. I guess you sit Olave right now, right? You can't sit Amon-Ra. You can't sit MHJ. You can't sit Godwin. He's on fire. But you got to make a trade. You're definitely sitting in a situation where you got to make a trade. You have to. Some of these teams you guys have sometimes are just wild. Like you need to maneuver out of that situation. Otherwise, you're going to be pulling your hair out every single week. David, appreciate you with the super chat. I'm going to put you in the corner here. Mon, I got you right there. And then Prodigy with the most recent super chat, so you get answered first here. Prodigy, appreciate you. And would you do Connor and Flowers for Jacobs and Worthy? Yes. Run from the, I don't know, not the veto police necessarily, but just absolutely grab that and run. Amazing. Defending, Mitch says, defending a guy who calls the host a clown. I don't know who. Look, I'm not going to assume Mitch is doing anything wrong here because Mitch, I don't know who Mitch is talking about at this point. I don't think Mitch is trying to cause problems. I think Mitch meddles. Mitch, you meddle. You're meddling Mitch. I love Mitch. Mitch is kind of like, I don't know. He's kind of trying to, like, I guess, protect the show, which I appreciate. But he meddles in a way that his name's in the middle of it. Meddling Mitch. Potentially. he's a meddler. Meddling Mitch. Okay. Amon. How do you feel about Tank Dell in Dynasty? I still love him. I'm thinking about moving JT for Dell and more. You better get a lot more, though, because JT's got massively more, value, fair market value. JT for Dell in a mid-first. I guess I'd take Dell in a mid-first. Early first. Not a mid-first, early first. JT's still very valuable. I think you can get more than that. Dell's very, very... If Dell's not valued in redraft, he's not valued in Dynasty. So check your value of Dell at the door. And don't consider it a factor because no one else values Dell where you and I are apparently valuing him. Would you trade London? Would you trade London for Waddle? JMO for Waddle. I'd trade JMO for Waddle. I would take that gamble, I think. I don't know, actually. Guys, can we vote on that one? JMO or Waddle? Waddle or JMO? Who would you rather have? Maybe we do like JMO more than him. Let's let the chat decide that. I'm kind of wavering right now, actually. Should I move Kupp and Najee for Mason? Yes, I would. You need a running back? Sure. Absolutely. It's borrowed time potentially, but maybe not. Can I move Kupp for Andrews and Worthy. I'd rather get the RB, but Andrews and Worthy isn't bad either for Kupp. I would do either one of those. I'd almost like Mason and Worthy, if you can pull that off. I got QB, Kyler Murray, Bijan. Wide receivers are Chase, Debo, Worthy. I don't know. What are you asking here? As far as your team, maybe I look at trading Debo and Pickens or Debo and Rashad White for one better player. Debo and Rashad White for JT, for Barkley, for Kyron. Try those. Those would be good moves. Short time listener, first time caller. Are you calling, Logan? Or are you super chatting? I appreciate you. Full PPR, one flex. Go with JSN, DJ Moore, or Dobbins. I would say this week I'm going Dobbins. He's a hot hand right now, but would I entertain trading him? Absolutely. Hall, Gibbs, Nico, Rice already in there. I don't trust DJ Moore, my guy. I like JSN, but I'm not going to put him in yet. I'm going to go Dobbins. Dobbins is a pretty safe play. Entertain some sell highs, though, and appreciate your first-time super chat. You absolutely rock. And welcome. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell notification. We go live more than anybody that I think we could find. we think so. Smitty, could my Mason for Nico straight up work? I'd rather have Nico. Other wide receivers could you shoot for? MHJ, St. Brown. Your running backs are Karen, Dobbins, Monty, Allen, Warren. You could go Dobbins and you could try Dobbins for St. Brown or Kyron. Dobbins for, I don't think you get MHJ. Dobbins for Rice, maybe if you wanted to keep Mason. But Mason for Nico, that would work for me. I can do that. DSN or Dell, I'm going to go Dell all day long. But that's me. Allen, waivers, so drop BT or Terry. Drop Terry over BT. BT's pretty solid. He's only going to get better. Do you think I can get Kyron Williams for Derek Carr, Coleman, and Mostert? Probably not. But try. I mean, his value is definitely low, but I don't think you can do that. Any other ideas for Carr? I mean, I don't know who needs a quarterback. That's kind of a loaded question when I don't know that. So just going off of like Mostert and Coleman, I don't think you're getting anything for that, to be honest with you. Worthy or Dell, potentially. I'd go after Worthy. Go get Worthy for that package, minus Carr. I don't know who needs a QB, but it is smart to go after the team that needs a QB. Like, you're doing the right thing. Use that as your way into a trade. But I don't know what they have. So, league stash, Wright or Hunt. I'm going to go with Wright for now, but there's definitely some opportunity for Hunt. No one's saying that he can't, do something. Would you trade London for Waddle? I would rather have J-Mo for Waddle. I think I already answered this one right. I think I'd rather have, at this point, what did the chat say? What did the chat end up saying? We got Locaine with $100 hauler. Look at Locaine coming in strong. Absolute monster. Locaine to the moon. I'm coming for your super chat here in a second, Locaine. Let me just close this one out here. What did everybody vote? J-Mo, Waddle, J-Mo. I'm confused. Oh, can we get one more vote on this? I don't trade London for Waddle, but J-Mo or Waddle? What are we voting here? I probably lean J-Mo, I think. I probably lean J-Mo. Traded JJ for, this is from Locaine. Moon.
To the moon.
Saturn.
To Saturn.
And Mars.
To Mars.
Locaine's a monster. Traded JJ for Devontae Adams, Moss, and Lamar Jackson. Chat saying J-Mo. A lot of people saying Karen. J-Mo, Karen, J-Mo. Hello. Keep J-Mo. So J-Mo it is. As for Locaine, JJ for Adams, Moss, and Lamar. Look, Lamar's solid if you need a QB badly. And you get Adams, so it makes sense. I get it. I don't like trading JJ, but I get this trade. Now, the only thing I'm going to tell you to do is now flip Adams for a St. Brown somehow, some way. Jamar Chase, whatever. So maybe you're trading Adams and Pollard. Maybe you're trading, you got Jamar Chase already, damn it. No, you have Chase Brown. Okay. Yeah, so Adams for St. Brown. Adams for MHJ. Adams for Jamar Chase. Adams for those guys, and you're giving up Pollard to get it done. You could even do Adams and Cup for Jamar Chase and Worthy or Dell or something like that. Something creative that I don't know because I don't have the rosters in front of me. But at the end of the day, Devontae and Jackson, it makes sense for your team. But JJ's tough to trade away. But you get Adams. If you have no QB, that makes a lot of sense. Would you trade Mixon for Mason straight up? No one's going to do that, Sean. But yes, I would Smitty approve. Sean's cook. This is like Sean's Jerry Maguire memo. He's cooking up in the middle of the night. What if he sits up in bed? What if I trade the injured Mixon for Jordan freaking Mason? Maybe it happens. Maybe you can get Mason. I don't know. You never know. You never know, bro. You never know until you try. I love some of these. Look, people have pulled off worse trades than that, so try it. Travis put me in a chat timeout. Thanks a lot. Love you anyways, babe. So my question is, Harold or Kumar? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'll let the chat vote on that one. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate you. I'm sure you deserved it. Let me look and see why maybe you were put in timeout, Chad. Let's see. I can search for this. You know that, right? What did you say? I don't know what he said tonight. Maybe he didn't mean to put you in timeout. Legendary. Appreciate you. Murray, Connor, Gibbs, Jordan Mason, Evans, St. Brown, Kincaid, Olave, Rice, Dell. Good team. Allen, who to trade, and do I pick up Coleman? I'd pick up Coleman, but who are you going to cut? It's not like your team's big bench, you know what I mean? So with your team, I'd probably wait, I guess. And who to trade? I would say Murray, Gibbs, Mason's great. Evans, St. Brown. I'm not trading any of that. I'm keeping Kincaid. I want to get Rice in my lineup probably, so maybe I'm consolidating Connor and Evans for Jamar Chase, Connor and Olave for Jamar Chase, MHJ, like a bigger upgrade, and then you get to put Rice right into your lineup. And Dell's an amazing flex option for you. I don't necessarily think you need to get rid of him. Sometimes depth is nice, and you got bye weeks coming up. So I'd focus on that. What would you change about let's see here. What would you change about this team? AR5, Bijan, Mason, White, MHJ, Rashid, Shaheed. I'd probably say Puka, BT, Jay Pickens. Let's see. I'd probably say give me Rashad White and a Shaheed, or Rashad White and a Pickens, or Rashad White and Puka. And the Puka one's interesting because you could go, whenever you do this, you got Puka out 5 to 7 weeks. You got Debo out 1 to 2 weeks. You got Kupp out maybe 3-4 weeks. You can't trade one of those guys for somebody that's near them because they're not playing. So like DK, for an example. But you throw in a player, and it makes it very hard for that person to say no. So you look at a guy like, you take a player like, who do we say, Rashad White and Puka. So you're trying to trade Puka into DK. No one's going to do that. You throw in Rashad White, now they do. Or at least they might. So you keep throwing. So you're going to go Puka. Who can you get Puka upgraded into? Devontae Smith, DK. Rashee Rice. So Rachaad White or Zamir White, whichever one that is. Those are good moves, in my opinion, to try and upgrade and do that. I traded Garrett Wilson, B. Cooks for Jamar Chase and Pickens. Honestly, I'd trade that for just Jamar Chase, so you did good. Need a win. Start three. Jacobs, Mason, Monty, Sharps. Go put Sharps on the bench. That's a good squad. Very good squad. Shelly, appreciate the $9.99 holler. And it's full PPR. Hurts, AJB, Rice, Garrett Wilson, Kyron, Walker, Laporta, benches, Higgins, BT, Watson, Shakir. Do I play Mostert if Walker sits? Again, who can I package for this for a running back trade? You're going to have to wait on the Mostert news. It sounds like he's going to play. And so because they're down Tua Tagovailoa, I think they will run the hell out of the ball. So I do think this is not a bad move. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad move. And it's your running back spot, so it's not like you can plug a receiver into it, right? So I'm okay with this. As far as a running back trade, I'd be very tempted because you have AJB out. You got to get AJB out of your lineup too. Probably putting in Higgins if he plays. But I'd be very tempted to trade Walker and Higgins for one ETN. Walker and Higgins for St. Brown, if you could pull it off. Walker and Higgins for maybe a Rashee Rice and something. Go to the Dell owner, see what additional player they could. What if it was Rice and Dell for Walker and Higgins? But I would definitely target Rice. I would definitely target Worthy with another player. Worthy and Dell as an example. Dell and somebody as an example. But Higgins straight up for Dell or Worthy makes sense. I'd do that. Walker straight up for Monty's interesting in that vein. Jacobs is probably hard to get, but you could do Walker and Higgins for Jacobs. Those make sense. Appreciate your super chat. Hopefully that helps. Jimmy, the drunk in the house, TM42 with a super chat. Appreciate both of you guys dropping the supers here. Don't give her up on Monster. He's going to outperform his ADP for sure. Bad matchup tonight. This game was always going to be a low-scoring snoozer. I don't know, Jimmy. I appreciate the take, and I understand it. And, part of me wonders that, but I don't know. I'm going to run away from a bad offense. Like I said, if you take any advice from me at all, it's best player available when you draft. Don't chase positions, draft players. And second, draft players on good teams because they score points. Superflex, QBs, Mahomes, AR5, Knicks, wide receivers, Debo, Worthy, Shaheed, Dell. I love that Dell's there to help supplement while Debo's out. Worthy and Dell's fantastic. Shaheed's earned his wide receiver 3 role. Gibbs and White and Chase Brown, Kincaid. I keep Kincaid. I think if this is this is Superflex. Damn. Whew, those are great quarterbacks. I think you're kind of holding. There's not much you can do. I would like to trade Rachaad White, but for what? Could you maybe get crafty, trade Rachaad White for, I'd be tempted. No. See if Mostert's on waivers. Because if you had Mostert and Wright, I know people think it didn't work. But it still very much could be a very crafty running back now that Tua's out. I don't know that I would trade Rachaad White straight up for him. If I'm trading Rachaad White, I'm going after Monty. And I'm giving up some other small piece somewhere, but I don't know that you have the ability to do that. Maybe Bo Nix, somebody wants Bo Nix in a super flex. If you think you can get rid of Bo Nix in a super flex, pick up Taysom Hill, pick up Penix Jr. as your third quarterback, and you can somehow use Nix to get Rachaad White into a Monty, into I don't think you get James Cook, a James Conner. I mean, Stevenson would be the only time I'd tell someone to buy low, and Stevenson would be in that situation. I don't think you're getting Jacobs or Etienne or any of those guys. You could try Mason. Maybe Jordan Mason's the person feels like they're on borrowed time. Brian Robinson Jr. is better than Rachaad White. Rachaad White could lose his job. But Mostert and Wright, Jalen Wright, might end up being serviceable for you. I really think you should look into that. But if I trade Rachaad White for Mostert, I want something else. Okay. Patrick, drop Mostert or Spears to pick up Jalen Warren. I guess Spears, but I'm not dropping Mostert. Mostert might get on his horse here. Who are trade target wide receivers using my Devontae Adams? Rashee Rice, St. Brown, MHJ, Neighbors. In some cases, you might have to give up a little bit more, but in some cases, maybe not. Mahmoud, Kincaid, Ferguson, Goddard. Drop who for Christian Watson? I'd probably drop Goddard. I'm not dropping Kincaid. Drafted best player available. Someone had dropped Ferguson. I keep Ferguson. Ferguson and Kincaid's pretty good, bro. Stacked at running back, current wide receivers. Start two. Out of these wide receivers, I'm going J-Mo and probably Pickens. As much as I want to put D-Rob in there, I'm putting Pickens in still. But don't drop Kincaid, bro. Don't even consider it, please. Don't go that route. We've got how many people in here? 705 people. Appreciate every single one of you being in here. I think we're out of here for the night. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you all for the amazing support. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, because we're almost at 29.5K, which means we're on the verge of 500 more subscribers, and we're at 30K. So appreciate every single one of you. Hit that subscribe button. I see it right now. When you hit it, I see it. I can tell you. I got 2 people just did it right now. Hit that subscribe button. Be a part of this show's, we're still at the ground floor, essentially. We got 1,000 people roughly in here, 274 thumbs up. We could do a little bit better than that. If you could, the 900 or so that are still in here, 900 of you, hit that thumb up button, at least get that to like 500, half of you. It helps the channel tremendously. And hit subscribe. Appreciate you all. These last 2 super chats, and then we're out of here. Marquez, appreciate you, my guy, dropping the super wad on screen. The I think $2 hauler. In a league, someone traded Kelsey for Chase and plus $5 fab. Yeah, I'd rather have Chase by a mile. But, I mean, you're not vetoing anything like that, in my opinion, because this is why we play. Ridley plus Kyron, Achane, Jacobs, or Mason for Lamb. This is kind of confusing, Thomas. Ridley plus Kyron, Achane, Jacobs, or Mason for Lamb. I don't know what we're doing there. Are you saying Ridley plus Kyron for Achane, Jacobs? Because you just got this run-on sentence here. Ridley and Kyron for Achane. I'll just assume that's what it is. So Ridley and Kyron for give me Achane and Jacobs by a lot. And I love Kyron too, but or Mason for Lamb. Can we do both? Can we trade Ridley and Kyron for Achane Jacobs, but also trade Mason for Lamb? If I've got to pick, I'd take the Lamb side if I can't do the other one. I don't know why I'm being told I can't do both. All right, I'll see you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. Every single one of you rock. Mason season.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah, we have to. Let's go. Start the procedure.
Masonites assemble.
Xavier Worthy, your wide receiver from the combine.
He can't catch. Many say he won't make it at the next level.
Enough. Watch me. I must go back and make it right.
Xavier Worthy.
He can't catch. Just fast. He won't make it.
Catch this. Great catch. Wow, nice catch. He's not overrated catching the ball.
He can really catch.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45 plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
What is a lion heart?
I am him.
When times get tough, they call on a beast. That beast rises up and starts to feast. Cuss and steel will sharpen and do his part. Because he, the beast, is the lion heart. He is the lion heart. He is the lion heart. He is the lion heart.
See you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. Expect multiple live streams tomorrow. The 8 p.m. show, the graveyard show, but also one before all of that, probably in the early afternoon or late morning. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Thank you, Low Kane and EA Goats, for dropping those 100 wads on screen. You guys absolutely rock. Low Kane to the moon. G Money with the $20 hauler. EA Goats again, thank you for the additional 20. EA Goats is the man. Myra, appreciate your 20 wad. Wave 3, thank you for the 20 spot. And appreciate everybody else, from Snoopy, the first chat, down to Clarence, down to Navage, down to Chris and Mitchell, Little Ricky, Original, B-Train, Little, Hernandez, E-Rock, Devo, Kevin, David, G, Harshal, Derek, Jordan, Rock Out, Dallas, Stroop, Just Jay, Gringo, appreciate you, Thomas, Nate, Max, Maximum, appreciate you, Edward, Bobby, Chris, 217, Adversity, Compton, Noah, John, Jurassic, Brian, Esteban, Tanner, Myra again, Edward, POV, Clarence again, Andrew, Harshal again, Gary, Brees, Esteban, Moondog, Matt, Josh, Joke, B for 3, Bruce, 603, Ivan, Nike, appreciate you, Sean, Mitchell, BJJ, Tanner, G again, Philly, Martinez, Zeno, appreciate you, EA Goats again, Noah, Giovanna, EA Goats again, Blake, Gappy, Philly, BJJ, FLS, Ricky, Man9, EA Goats again, thanks for that 100, Jake, EA Goats again, G again, EA Goats again, Prodigy, Amon, David, Oliveira, G Money, Eric, Rusty, 91, Logan, Craig's, Ironic, Kevin, Free, Low Kane again, like I said, Match, appreciate you, Can't Match, Legendary, 91, Santos, Shelly, Jimmy the Drunk, TM42, Patrick, Mahmood, KCM, Marquez, Thomas, and anybody else that dropped one. Appreciate you all. Thanks to my mods, Space Ricky, Sick Nasty, Blackbeard, Vampy, Terry Roberts, of course, Travis. Did I say all the mods? Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, Blackbeard, Kenny Powers. Kenny's out there. I know Kenny doesn't make every show, but Kenny, appreciate you. See you all later.
There are 2 5s? JD 5? AR 5? There can't be.
Oh no.
They're gonna cross streams.